What is going on, miners, and welcome back to the Hobbyist Miner channel. Well, today I want to go ahead and make a few changes to our grow tent, and I want to see if that improves some of our temperatures. So I don't know how well they'll do. These are some recommendations that came from people in the channel. In the meantime, I am waiting for some additional hardware from VivoSun. They're supposed to be sending out a few additional items, including an 8-inch exhaust fan versus what I'm using, which is the 6-inch, which, based off of what the community is saying, the 8-inch should be night and day. While we wait, let's see if we can improve what we have. So right now in the tent, we are at 92 degrees Fahrenheit, 92.4. So what I'm gonna do is, let's go ahead and unzip this here. Now I do know one of these fans on one of my RX 470s is actually dead. I need to replace it here, and I actually have to figure it out. I was looking at this. So the issue is when you spin it, it's like getting stuck. So I don't know if there's an issue with the bearing. Oh, it's trying. But I can go ahead and actually check this out. I never even realized this. You can just pull these off. So I need to talk to my GPU repair guru, see if they have any recommendations for me. But anyways, so 92.4. So we're only running 6 cards in here. So my first thing we're gonna test today is we're gonna take our exhaust fan and we're gonna pull it up and out. I'm gonna mount it up here, and then I'm gonna go ahead and run my ductwork down and just have it enter right there. So give me, I say now, about 10 minutes, probably gonna take 15, let's be honest, maybe 30. Let me go ahead and do all that, and then I'm gonna close up the tent, let it run for a few minutes, and then we'll see what our peak temperature is. 92.4, let's see how we do. Okay, so we're making some good progress so far. Moved the tent out of the way, pulled everything out, cleaned up our ductwork with the tape and also the hose clamp. And then what I did was I mounted this up here. And I'll show you guys real quick. I'm up a ladder, a 6-foot ladder right now. So I put these hooks on, carabiners, right? So what they're called, climbers use. I had some of those. I had to drill the hole a little bit bigger right here. This is what came with it. And then I had these clips here for wiring. And I put in a 3-inch screw, construction screw with a washer. Lock that in real good. So now it has the ability to kind of wobble a little bit, has some movement to it, which is fine. And then right over here, we're not touching the drywall, and it's gonna sit right here. So I need to see, Red Fox Crypto claims you can go ahead and get some ductwork around this with a hose clamp and hold it on there. So I'm gonna have to try to see if I can do that. But let me go ahead and get this cleaned up, everything in place, and I'll show you guys the final product. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look. So it did work out. Don't tell Red Fox Crypto. We'll have to see. I'm very concerned that I come downstairs and find this popped off. So I did end up using, the same AC duct tape. I think it's like Burley or something like that tape that is used on like AC vents and stuff like that. So I did use that first, and then I used a 6-inch hose clamp on each side. I made sure the one on the far right was definitely pushed up against the exhaust. So my goal was to cut down on bends as well. So as you guys can see, this actually comes down in, and look, it's just that little spot right there. So what we're doing is it comes up, very little bends. We have a decent bend here. I may need to get some of these they're called yo-yos, they're like the rope with the hook around it. And I may need to get a little extra slack and put it up here so it's a little bit less of a tight turn here. I might actually push the tent this way a little bit, and then it comes down through nice and smooth and goes right into there. So so far so good. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and power this rig back up. This is 6 RX 470s mining Ravencoin. They each do between 13 to 14 mega hash. Now, you may be wondering, why am I doing this? It's only 90 degrees Fahrenheit. That's great, this is fine, that's awesome. But the second I go ahead and put another 6 RX 470s in here with another power supply, it jumps up to 111 degrees Fahrenheit, which is not sustainable. So that is why I'm trying to overcome this. So our first goal is, does this putting our fan outside of our tent, cut down on our temperatures. 91.4. That's what we're trying to beat. I'll check back in 15 minutes. Okay, so I did end up putting one of these little rope yo-yos that come with these. You can see it's interesting as to how it works. That's like a rope and another carabiner there. But I put it around there and I pulled it this way to try to make this curve a little bit nicer versus just like a straight up and you know, a really hard turn, especially at the exhaust fan itself. So it's been quite a few minutes and we are at 89.0. So what does that give us? 89 to 90, so 2.4. And it hasn't even been that long. Outside temperatures have not dropped that much at all. So that being said, that's a first good victory in that regard. Let's talk about the next thing I want to do in order to see if it cuts down on temperatures. Now, in order to properly do this, I do need to go ahead and move my thermometer here. I want to move it down to right around the card level because what I want to do is I want to put the power supply up top. So let me go ahead and open this up real quick here. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. So this power supply puts out a ton of heat. This one is only powering the motherboard, so very minimal. So my thought pattern is put another shelf right here, right up top here. I have one sitting right here, but I have to see if everything will, if the distance will work out. Put a shelf in, okay? Put my power supply from here up top here and getting sucked out there. So actually, I may leave it right here. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it. I wanna leave everything the way it is and just move this up top here, and the exhaust vent, the exhaust of our 1200 watt power supply will be right up against our exhaust pipe there. So let me go ahead and get that in place and we'll do some retesting. So 89.0. Okay, so she's not the prettiest in the fleet, but it'll definitely work for right now. So here's what I did. I added another shelf. It's not as high as what I really wanted. I wanted like really high up here, closest to that vent. But the downside is these PCI cables are just too short, unfortunately. I definitely need to see if there's any longer ones out there. If you guys know of any, please let me know. Hit me up in Discord, leave a comment down below where I can find them. I'd love to find ones that are like twice the length of this. So ideally, if this helps and shows improvement, I may have to move the entire rig up so that this guy is literally like right here. So like this power supply is sitting like right here. What I'm thinking, but that's gonna have to do for now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna power everything back up. We'll let it run for another 15 minutes and then we'll see what we get. Our goal is 89.0. Okay, miners, let's go ahead and take a look. So this has been running for about 10 minutes now. The ultimate test is a few hours, but based off of my time limitations, we're running about 10 minutes right now. We moved our power supply up as close as we could with the way that our shelves are arranged. We ideally do need to bump up all of our shelves in order to maximize this totally, but let's go ahead and take a look right now. 84.5. So what did we do? We were at 91.4. We went ahead and took our exhaust and put it outside of our tent. That gave us about 2 degrees, 2.5 degrees. What else did we do? We went ahead and took our power supply, which is pumping out heat, and we moved it to the closest point possible to our exhaust. In reality, we could probably get even better temperatures if we went ahead and got it even closer. So that's actually gonna be my goal. I'm gonna be moving a bunch of these rigs around tomorrow, and I'm gonna try to see if I can get that as close as possible up there. All right, guys, wanted to jump in real quick. It is now 3 hours later. We're in the future, I know. And things are holding up. It didn't pop off yet. Things are looking good. From a temperature perspective, we are at 86.8, and it's been 3 total hours, which is phenomenal. All my cards are actually running really well. They're 66 degrees Celsius right now is what they're running at there, so things are running great per HIVEOS. So really happy with that. So what am I going to do next? You know, how do we improve this more? Because my goal is to get more cards in here. So I'm not totally satisfied yet. So what I'm going to do is tomorrow, I want to shift around some of the motherboard and CPUs. And what I mean by that is, like, because I have hanging racks, like everything is hanging, all GPU hanging equipment, I'm going to go ahead and swap out my B250 mining motherboard in here. And I'm going to actually bring in, I'm thinking about my RebTech boards. So my RebTech boards, if you guys haven't seen them in other videos, they're hanging. Like, they hang, they're small, they're simple. I think that'll help out with even better airflow, because my current setup has like a board across the bottom with my motherboard and everything like that. So I'm thinking, I'm going to eliminate my ATX power supply, kind of eliminate that big bulky motherboard, eliminate the plywood in there, creating almost like an airflow barrier a little bit, and let's just do everything hanging. So I think I'm going to swap some things around and try my RebTech boards in here. I do want to get to my 12 GPUs mining Ravencoin, and this may be the option. So I may swap my RebTech boards in here. I may then go ahead and redo the shelving so I can get the power supplies. Like you can see right here, there's that power supply there. Get that bumped up higher to my exhaust. I will be running 2 of them once I get to 12 cards, so that's something to keep in mind, but I think we're on to something here. I do feel though that an 8-inch is the end-all great solution for this situation, an 8-inch exhaust, but we've learned a lot tonight. Well, if you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and let's hold our breath for the 8-inch exhaust.